got a question for you, Joe.
Yeah.
Are you ready to raid some tombs?
Womb Raider.
Oh, God. That is not what we're playing.
I wish it was.
I think, according to a lot of controversial articles on the internet, Womb Raider probably is an apt title, but this is Tomb Raider.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We started this off on the right foot.
Yeah.
No, we could rewind, delete, and restart.
No,
but I think
this is what happens when I invite you back, because I rolled solo last week. This week you're back, and that's how we start things off.
The first words out of my mouth were, yeah, Womb Raider.
Yeah, off to a great start. I'm Eric Norris, alongside Womb Raider Joseph Davidson.
Joey Womb Raider Davidson.
Joey Womb Raider Davidson.
Tell my wife. That's a good nickname.
God. We're playing Tomb Raider, the new game from Crystal Dynamic.
Yeah, and Square Enix.
Published by Square Enix.
Yeah.
It comes out this coming Tuesday, March 5th. We were lucky enough to get an early review copy, which is pretty awesome. I fired it up for a few hours before we got together to record this actual show.
Yeah.
So I know some things, but not a lot of things.
I have to put this out there. Eidos was responsible for Tomb Raider, Hitman,
Right.
and Deus Ex.
Right.
All three of those things were published by Square Enix in the last, 2 years.
Yeah, they're pumping them out.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is pretty weird.
Meanwhile, Japanese Square Enix, what's going on there?
Who knows? Question mark. They're showing us CGI
Kingdom
cutscenes
Hearts
and saying this is
HD
coming.
1.5
Yeah.
remix.
Oh, God. So, all right, Tomb Raider. What we're actually showing at the start of this video, and you're seeing a little bit of here, is that there's actually raiding of tombs.
Yeah.
Right here, specifically, you're seeing a little bit of the, the camping home base, if you will, hub.
Some hub UI.
Which I don't think many people know about Tomb Raider, or I didn't know until maybe a few months ago, that the game isn't a straightforward
level to level
Uncharted clone.
Yeah.
I mean, it shares a lot of similarities with the Uncharted series, but this is actually a hub world that you can go forward and back to different camps you've been to, explore.
More open and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Explore during day or night. Once you get new equipment, you can then reach new areas.
Right.
Meanwhile, it all, of course, has a forward-moving plot that you can just kind of avoid all the secondary missions, objectives, and just stick straight with the main story if you want to.
Yeah, don't mind this puzzle here.
Yeah.
You're going to notice a jump cut, but that's because we're not really allowed to show solutions.
Yeah, we'll use that excuse. Basically, what really happened...
It's the truth!
No, it is.
There's also 5 minutes of puzzle solving that we cut out, but, whatever.
We are not allowed to show any puzzle solving or story cutscenes, so...
Boom! What just happened?
There it is. You don't even know.
What just happened?
So this is actually a tomb raiding kind of side mission. So these pop up every once in a while in the hub world. You can go do them. This is actually the first one in the game. It's not very hard as far as the puzzle solving to get to this little treasure chest to unlock items, equipment, salvage, which you can use to upgrade your bow, your gun, your various equipment. And then after we're done here, I mean, they give us a nice little shortcut back to the beginning of it.
Which is nice of them.
Pretty much, yes. And then we kind of do a little bit of the forward-moving plot. We're trying to reach this antenna tower up at the top of a giant cliff. And
there's some guys in our way.
Right.
And you'll see Eric tumble down a waterfall like a real man.
Right.
So what do you think about this is a Tomb Raider reboot.
Right.
Lara Croft had gone in some ridiculous directions there.
Right.
With the series. And now we've got this new remodeled younger Lara Croft who's, in my opinion, much better looking than what we had.
Right. And not only, you don't even mean that just by a, ooh, hey,
she's much better. No, I mean, literally, she's a much better character.
Correct. And I think that's kind of one of the big talking points for this game leading up to its release, is that this is not the Lara Croft that we've known since the early 90s,
right.
where
she fights wolves, has big boobs,
right? Where immediately 5 minutes into the first Tomb Raider, you're kicking tigers in the teeth and fighting T-Rexes.
Yeah.
This is the story of how she becomes that character. So much like with DMC earlier this year, that was the story of the beginning of Dante.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider here is taking kind of the same approach. So it's
both reboots. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think about that.
So it's very much like, at this point in the game that you're actually seeing on video here, she's still that unsure, kind of archaeologist that just gets thrown into this really shitty situation and basically is trying to survive. So she's learning finding survival tools, picking up survival instincts, that kind of stuff. But like I said, I don't know how far that goes. How much further that goes over the course of this game.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played it. I assume that'll be a big like through line of the actual story.
Well, she's this is all about Lara's growth, right? Like from the innocent archaeologist shipwrecked on an island and put in a shitty situation to a survivalist badass who's going to kill people with arrows and whatever.
Like you see right here.
This is actually pretty sweet.
Using the environment to my advantage here. I look really cool pulling that off and then immediately fuck it up when here comes the tumble down the waterfall because I didn't see that guy literally right over top of me. I will say in the heat of combat I've multiple times just kind of lost track of what I was doing. Yeah, enjoy that.
You live though.
Right. Yeah, no, she's fine. She can take a fall. Like there is so many falls earlier in the game, like kind of like the quick time event, cinematic moments.
What's one little
Right, it's fine.
dip down a waterfall?
Within the first like 3 minutes, she gets impaled on like a rusty like stake.
Oh, I remember that.
Right, so
I was at the New York Comic Con demo.
Yeah, and she just like bounces back up. She's like, "Oh, I'm cool. It's fine.
got this."
So a little tumble down the waterfall is not really that big.
A
of a
rumble
deal
and
for her.
tumble.
Yeah.
Look at you, man.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that has irked me thus far with this game is the quick time events.
Yeah.
And you know why?
Huh.
Not because, oh shit, it's quick time events. It's that the user interface for them is obnoxious.
That's not good.
Like,
we didn't see any of that.
You don't see any of this.
This guy he went back into shack for a smoke.
and just got his
Well,
head
that's over.
blown
She
off.
fell down
Yeah.
a waterfall, so...
She's probably dead. But no, so the quick time events aren't just like, it comes up with a button prompt right on the screen and you press it.
Yeah.
There's like this circle that shows up on the screen with kind of like this closing countdown timer thing before it shows what button you need to press, and it's just really distracting.
Ugh.
So
That's
it's
like
almost
worse
like
than Heavy Rain. But
Right,
But like that was like what Heavy Rain was.
Right, it's press a button, but you have to do it within this short time frame. Okay, the time frame's over. So I don't know how many times wolves have eaten my face off.
Oh, just because
already.
you missed a stupid button press?
Right. So
yeah, that's no good.
That's really the only thing I've found thus far in the game that's kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Have you noticed that developers haven't figured out chicken hunting? That developers haven't figured out an interesting way to deal with wild animal attacks that isn't
like a quick time event?
Yeah.
I remember
Assassin's Creed 3, like you fought wolves, but it was like lol, quick time events.
Right, it was nothing more than that. And you can fight wolves in this, like they'll kind of, growl and charge at you, and you can shoot them with, your guns. It doesn't automatically do a quick time event like Assassin's Creed 3
which that
did.
was terrible.
Right. But if you get tackled,
then
it's quick time. It's like, shake the left stick, press this button at the right time, or your face gets ripped off.
Yeah.
So maybe sometimes that's something to look forward to in gaming. Animal encounters that are more than just press this button
quick time events.
or die.
You're surrounded by wolves, and the only way to handle it is pressing X on your controller when we tell you to.
Right, which is no bueno.
No.
So I think we're coming up here on the end of this video.
Yeah.
I searched this little cabin.
Which there's nothing here. It's quaint.
Yeah, no. It's somebody's
So
just
Tomb
living
Raider
there.
comes out next week, right? PC, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3?
Right,
Yeah.
I believe so. So if this entices you, check it out. Hit up craveonline.com for more gaming coverage. By the time this is going up, you can see new Crave.
New Crave!
Yeah, so new look.
It's what
same
you
great
crave!
content. Yeah. So check that out, and we will see you next time on Watch Us Play.
Oh no! Oh no! No.